Hello out there, all my stash busters, and welcome back to Scrapping the Stash with Gail. I am working on my November sketch challenges from my new Stampin' Up family. And so I am going to be sharing a sketch with you right here. This is from the Crafty Bunch with Erin Jacobson. She is my Stampin' Up upline, and she gives us a monthly sketch challenge every month. And so this is the sketch I'll be working on today. Now, even though the sketch suggests a fall or Halloween pumpkin-y kind of theme, you also have to be able to look at a sketch and be able to look past it. Follow the sketch as to where to place background papers, where to place your pictures, and where the embellishment clusters should go. Now, you can turn any sketch into anything you want. It's just to spark creativity and give you some inspiration when you might feel stuck or just a challenge like I'm doing right now. So these are the papers that I've chosen. This is my niece and nephew. And yes, this is from 2016, so it's been a few years. um, but they were in a violin or fiddle and guitar and banjo contest at a local festival. And so we went to see them play. And so this is what I'm doing. So I've got just a little bit of a folksy or country vibe going on here. And so these are the papers I've chosen, and these are my pictures. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a cream colored basic cardstock background. And I know what you're thinking. You're going, wait, is this Scrapping the Stash with Gail? She never uses white or cream or a solid background paper. But you're not going to see a lot of this. I am going to be covering it up because that sketch wants us to basically do some block background with some layering. And so I am going to be using wood grain and plaid and denim. And so I thought it would be easier for me just to start with something basic and then build from there. So going back to the sketch, you can see there is just a light base layer. And then there on either side in the background, there's approximately a 7 to 8 inch just back piece of paper that are flanking just on either side of the page, kind of a bookend. So I went ahead and chose this kind of neutral taupey colored, kind of like a weave or herringbone background paper. And so that's kind of where what I'm going to be using on either side here. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut these, and then I'll be right back. So there are my two base pieces. So I cut 3/4 of an inch off of this 12 sheet on the shorter side, and then just took 1/4 of an inch off of this side, and that created this frame around here. And I did that for both pieces. So then the sketch calls for another block piece on either side here in the background. It looks to be, if I had to guess, probably 5 to 6 inches um, wide, and then probably 10 inches this way. So this is where I was thinking about bringing my barn doors in, just cutting this paper in half and then just putting either of those on either side. Now I don't know that I'm going to cut it off this way, so I might be going a little rogue already on this sketch. So I really like the idea of that barn door right in the middle. I think that that's going to really kind of draw the focus in. The other thing that I was thinking too is doing the exact opposite, which would be putting them on the outside. So it kind of brings it kind of in here, and then use something different for my block of paper here. So you may see me flipping back and forth between those ideas. So let's bring these photos in here. This was a very poorly lit fluorescent bulb room. They had coat hangers in the background on the stage. So not the greatest pictures in the world. See how much better that picture is of them. And so I thought that would look really nice there. And then my husband and his grandmother here. I've got a lot of different colors going on in these pictures. So that's why I really wanted to bring a neutral background in. Now, I also have this denim color because my accent color that I want to bring out in here is the blue, because even though this gentleman isn't part of our family, there's blue here. My nephew has a blue plaid shirt on, so the blue is kind of the accent color that I'm kind of looking for here. So I think that this is what I'm going to use. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the sketch back in so you can see pieces in the back that are flanking either side of the layout. I decided where I wanted the barn door paper to go. And so then that meant that I needed to cut down that neutral paper about another inch and a quarter, so a total of 2 inches, so that those could be that medium gray color. Now, again, I want to bring this blue jean paper in. And so what I think I'm going to do is there is a piece, a darker piece, and then one of the banners that I think I'm going to use this denim paper for. So I'm just going to cut a 2-inch piece off of it. Now I just really love the way this denim looks in here. So I'm thinking that whatever I end up doing with my embellishments, I probably will use that denim as well. Now I really like plaid paper with the yellow. It's great opposite on the color wheel of the denim or the blue. Plus it kind of matches the wood that's kind of in these pictures, so it just kind of brings it all together. Now I have these recollections stickers. I got these in a garage sale, and there is a guitar and a violin that is pretty close to their guitar and violin, but I do not have a banjo. So I'm thinking that I might have to figure out a banjo or something on Canva. Maybe what would be fun would be to cut out the shape of like a jeans pocket for my cluster bases. So next I'm going to show you how you can make a very easy arch. However, Stampin' Up! Does have a product. They're called Everyday Arches Dies. And you get this set of 10 arches and for $29. I will put a link to that product down in this video. But I'm going to show you how to do it the old-fashioned way. So what you want to do is find the width of your arch that you want. This is just a plastic cup. It's a 3-inch diameter here. And then you are just going to, like we did in school, you're just going to trace around that, and you do not have to be perfect whatsoever. So you see the circle there. We are going to get our trimmer. And it's really easy. You just line this up until you get the edge of the circle lined up with where your cut is going to be. Now you can make this obviously as short or as long as you want, but then you just make that cut and then you do the exact same thing with the other side of the circle. Line that up with your cut piece. And the same thing. And then I'm going to cut across this way. Now, obviously, it doesn't look like much, right? Because you've just cut a square. But now what you can do is take your fussy cutting scissors and just cut right on that line. It doesn't have to be perfect, but now you've got your arch once you turn it over. So I think these photos are going to require a darker colored mat. I played with the denim just a little bit, but I really think I just want to save these little pieces of denim here, as well as what I want to do with the embellishment clusters. So what I think it needs is going to need to be a darker blue, just so that they pop off the page a little more. So I went ahead into my cardstock stash and pulled out all my blue scraps, and I've got plenty of dark navy blue scraps that I can use to mat these photos in. Now I do have larger pieces obviously too, but I like to use my scraps first as much as possible. So I went ahead and matted all of those pictures in that dark navy blue, and now it just looks so much better. The photos are highlighted and they're not just blending into the background. So the next thing I want to show you is something that I do a lot. So this is Canva, and I usually print off my journaling in Canva. So what I went ahead and did was also searched under elements for jeans pocket, and it came up with all these different clip arts for jean pockets. And I came up with, found this shape. So I just duplicated it 3 times, made them 3 different sizes. I had to print this off anyway. So then I went ahead and print those off, and I'm going to use those as templates to create jean pockets with this denim. So those are actually just kind of cute that way, but I really want it out of these jeans. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line these up, and I'm actually going to, because I want them to be a little thicker, I'm actually going to use what I have here. We're just going to cut them out. And now that I'm not going to corner around them, I can use my long blade scissors to cut these out. So I am just going to go ahead and cut right along the edge of this template. Now I'll tell you something else that I do when I'm working on scrapbooking layouts is all of these little itty bitty pieces that you see falling here. I don't throw those away until I'm done with the layout. I just have them all in a pile up at the top of my layout, all these little pieces, so that in case I do something wrong or I mess it up, oh, that's really cute. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Oh, I love it. I love that. I might have to put some kind of stitching on it. We'll have to see what I come up with that. I actually have a little crafting sewing machine. I could, I could use a gold thread and bring that gold into the layout. Oh boy, just got a hot spot idea. But anyway, what I was saying is, just in case I make a mistake or I need to patch something, I just keep all of those pieces at the top of my layout here, in case I need to mat something else, or patch a hole, or use a small strip to ground an embellishment. So I just keep all of these little scraps until I'm done with the layout, and then I just pick the bigger ones out, decide if I'm going to keep them or not, or I just trash them. I usually don't keep anything that isn't a square piece or just a straight piece. I just think those are so stinking cute. Those really turned out cute. Okay, so now where we're at is I have tacked all of this down, and I have inked everything that you see with black ink, just basically a black ink. So any black ink will do. I inked all of the edges around just so that there was separation between all of the pieces. Now I went ahead and dovetailed these finally and adjusted them the way I wanted. Like I said earlier, I really wanted to get more of this plaid paper in. These arches really weren't working for me for some reason, and I inked them. That was better, but then I went ahead and matted them with this plaid paper so that I brought more of that yellow gold color in. to match these pictures and kind of bring it over to this side. I also went ahead and took my three awesome jean pocket embellishments and stitched around them with the sewing machine in a gold colored thread. Now, I know some of you out there that sew are looking at that and going, oh my gosh, that's awful. Yes, you're absolutely right. It is awful, but no one's going to care on the scrapbooking layout. And you know what? This is my first time sewing on a piece of paper. So I think for what it is, it looks pretty good. This is going to be used as my title, Fair Folk Fun. Try to say that 10 times fast. Um, so I'm going to bring these in and show you where I'm going to put my embellishments. Okay, so I have all of my embellishment clusters laid down, and I want to show you the difference between how a embellishment is just kind of floating out in space, and also how to make sure that it's anchored and not just kind of like dangling off in your layout. Also, when I did my embellishment clusters, I did feel like there was just something a little like missing. Even though these pieces back here are grounding the photos, I still feel like the whole thing is just floating in the air. And I think the reason that it looks that way is because of the barn doors. So I really needed an element to ground all of these things to make it kind of look like it's attached to a shelf or sitting on something. Plus, I wanted to bring a little bit of music, more music. I only had these few stickers that I have in my embellishment clusters. And so what I decided to do was bring in some old sheet music. And so what I'm going to do is show you how just sliding just a piece of just a square, how that just now anchors all this whole side to the barn door. This is no longer just floating in space and floating off the side of the layout. It just attaches everything to this barn door over here, and it just grounds the whole thing over here. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side, because this whole bale of hay over here just kind of looks like it's just kind of hanging out in space. And so I'm going to do the same thing over here. Now I went ahead and, of course, adhered these embellishments down more than I needed or wanted to before I was able to uh, figure this out. So I'm going to have to really plier because this pocket is on top on dimensionals, so it's lifted, and those really stick. Now I don't care that I am ripping my paper underneath because I'm not moving these. I'm just making room for this to kind of slide under there where I want it. And of course, I can cut it off too. But I just wanted to show you what a difference it makes having that sheet music just sitting in there. How now the whole thing just feels grounded. There's music, it's telling more of a story. And I just really feel like the whole thing just came together just by throwing in some old sheet music um, to ground everything and have the embellishment clusters sitting on something. Now, of course, you saw where I got my jeans pockets from, and which was on Canva. And so what I did was I just went ahead and created my embellishments in Canva as well. Now, I do this a lot because it really helps me when I don't have specific icon, mood and theme, ephemera, or stickers, or those kinds of things in my stash. So instead of ordering something or going out and purchasing it for one specific layout, I go ahead and create my ephemera in Canva, print it out, fussy cut it, and layer it to create my embellishments. So let's go ahead and bring the sketch back in so we can compare my layout to the sketch that was provided. Here you can see the two photos. I have two photos, the banners. I made the banners here. The arch. Once I figured out to put the jeans pockets over the top of them and use them as part of the title, and then over here to support the journal box, it made all the difference for me. So then here's my embellishment cluster that's shown here. And then on the right side, we've got the three photos. This one is a 4x4 instead of what these look to be 3x4s. I have a small embellishment cluster here with a medium embellishment cluster here, and then of course here's the arch. Now I chose not to put a subtitle here. Obviously I still could, and I still might, but I really don't want to cover up this music paper right now, so I may go back and do that. So I really hope that you were inspired to try starting your layouts from a sketch and being able to look past the sketch and apply it to the mood and feel and topic of the current pictures you're using, and just be able to look past the theme of the sketch that you're using and just adapt it to the story that you are trying to tell on your layout. Also, if you liked this video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button down here and go ahead and subscribe while you're at it. And stay tuned to my channel because Stampin' Up! Has a lot of great deals coming up for Black Friday. They have new product of the month coming up starting in December. And then also in January, after the first of the new year, they will be coming out with a bunch of new products that I will be showcasing prior to it going live so that you can get a sneak peek as to some of the new items. So thank you for watching and keep on scrapping that stash. Bye bye for now.